Thanks for joining us today, y'all. We'll be on stream in just a moment.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Wisecrack Live. It's Thursday, December 8th, 2022. We're almost done with 2022, which is good or bad, depending on how you look at it. I'm your friend, Michael Burns, who is not subbed. Yeah. I'm friend Michael Burns. I'm here with producer Henry. We are doing our, let's think, this is not our penultimate. It's our second to last, third to last Wisecrack Live of 2022. We'll be finishing up our first year of the stream pretty soon, so that's exciting. Just a reminder, our last stream of the year, December 22nd, will be joined by Raymond Kramer from Show Me the Meaning and Cinemythology and a lot of other stuff. We're going to talk about our favorite films of 2022. So if you want to participate in that, and I think I'm going to do a thing where I'm going to set up a poll that I'll share a link for, that all of you can vote on, because I want to get our community scores as well. But we'll be talking about the best movies of 2022. So if there are things that you have not seen that you want to see them in the next 2 weeks so we can talk about them. And definitely thank you for liking the stream. It keeps us going. What are we going to do today? We're going to do so much. We got a new Harris video, and I do think if you're a part of this community, and if you're here, your family, someone said the mic is not as clear. I wonder if you mean my audio. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Yeah, we
Let's
may be
see.
getting your
Ooh.
webcam instead of your microphone.
Yep. Thank you for calling that out. I hate when it does that. We got real audio now. Hopefully it's a bit better.
Sounding much better.
Thank you for calling me out, friends. This is better than the time I did most of a stream with the webcam mic. Speaking of webcams, fun thing. My webcam sucks. It sucks. And I've asked the powers that be at the corporation to purchase me a new one. It looks like that's going to happen. So hopefully starting in 2023, I won't look like shit. So we'll both sound good, look good, all that sort of stuff. But what else? Yes, if you're a part of this community that when a new Johnny Harris video comes out, don't watch it. Wait to watch it together. I've said it before, but Johnny Harris is someone we love to hate and we hate to love. He's genius in that way because he sometimes does foolish things, but his videos always look really good. He gets close to interesting ideas. So we're going to watch his video on crypto because in the past couple of weeks, I've become interested in crypto. I've invested all my money in it. So I want to see what happens. We also have some trailers I want to check out. We got a new Indiana Jones movie. We got the final Guardians movie coming out. We have some God's Not Dead things we'll get to. And to tease the video that's coming out on Monday, we're going to check out some Legal Eagle stuff. So that's a reminder. On Monday, we're dropping a video. It's a collaboration with Devin from Legal Eagle, where we're looking at God's Not Dead 3. So just in time for the holidays. There's going to be one video that comes out on our channel, one video that comes out on the Legal Eagle channel. I will be on both of those. Devin will be on both of those. So, get ready for that sort of stuff. And thank you again if you are liking this stream. You know that it helps us. Professor Puppet says the best webcam is a 2-year-old iPhone with the Camo app. I need to figure that out because I have a couple of iPhones. Maybe I should be using those anyways. But yeah. So we're here. You're here. We're having fun today. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the docket. What's going on? I got to do our update, what's going on Wisecrack. Since we were last together, we had 2 videos come out. One on philosophy, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. That video is out. If you haven't checked it out, you can. We also have one on space travel and billionaires. You can check that out as well. Space travel one is the first video that one of our very cool new researchers, a philosophy dude named Michael, who's not me, helped us work on. So that's really awesome. But then what's coming out? What should you expect? Well, here, I'll tell you all the videos coming out. Terranyot, I did not really invest all my money in crypto. I don't have enough money to do that. Professor Puppet, this is really helpful. So it's called the Camo app that you said is good? I just want to note this, the Camo app. I'm gonna look that up now, friends. And you might be like, why is he looking stuff up during stream? Well, because I want to look better for the next stream, so I can attract high-level agents and stuff like that. That's not real. Don't worry. Let's see. Okay. So here's what we have coming out in the channel in the next few weeks. I know we're taking a little bit of a break on Monday. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. Guys, I forgot what's coming out tomorrow. Does anyone know? Do I remember? Do you remember? Whatever's coming out tomorrow is going to be a mystery, I think. Because why do I forget? Why do I forget what video we're putting out? I'm clearly in it. I'll be saying stuff. And Rick and Morty, duh. We have a video coming out on Friday on the most recent episode of Rick and Morty, looking at the way in which the new Rick and Morty talks about faith and belief. Producer Henry and myself and Lux talked about that on the Squanch stream on Monday. You can go check that out if you haven't seen it already. We have a video about that coming out on Friday. On Monday, God's Not Dead 3 with Legal Eagle. That's going to be great. On Friday, I'm very excited about this one. We have a video on right-wing comedy and I guess like political comedy in general. So that's coming out. I'm excited about that. And then the final video of the year, which we filmed yesterday, it's kind of more of a fun one. So please watch it so I don't feel like it was a waste. A little philosopher reacts to 2000 movie The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Paul got new internet, yay. So if you're a fan of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas or you don't like it, still a video just kind of riffing off the way in which that movie frames consumerism, the relationship between Christmas and consumerism, and kind of poses the question of whether or not Christmas has become its own religion, so kind of detached from the Christian narratives that found it. So there you go. Logan, thanks for being here. And yeah, happy pansexual and Panromantic Pride Day. Hell yeah, that sounds fun. Wheelie Wannabe says exploitative economy. Yeah. Penny says my husband is tuning his guitar. Wish I could mute life. Penny, you and my wife should chat. She doesn't like sometimes when I play too much guitar. Dude abides in the chat. Should I take some AI lenses selfies? I didn't want to do that. I think I'd be worried that if I did that, I would like how I looked better in AI and would make myself feel bad. John asks, aren't all rockets penis shaped? I guess so, but not all penises are rocket shaped. Thanks for liking the stream. It means a lot. But that's what's coming up on the channel. We got a few more streams left. Trying to think if there's anything else I should let you know. Any news? Any big stuff? No, but another thing, we're going to have Riley Anspaugh from the Review podcast over on the HeadGum Network on one of the first episodes in 2023. So that's exciting. If you do have people you'd like to see on the stream, please let us know. We want to do that. A few more things before we get into this first video, before we dive into the Harris hole. Thanks for being here. It's going to be Harris hole time in a couple seconds. You know all this stuff. If you want your name to be green in the chat, if you want a little Wisecrack logo, if you want emotes, if you want your chat to go to the top of the screen, if you want to show that you are a tattooed member of the community, you can subscribe to this YouTube page and be more active in the stream. If you want to be the Lord of the chat, you can gift memberships to other people. Aloha, Alexander. Mellow Jello coming off the top rope with the AI give Michael hair. Wow. And Riley is great, Juan. She's really great. Any videos on the FIFA World Cup? Terry, I wanted to cover the World Cup, but because of our production schedule, we just can't get on stuff that quick. So I was worried by the time we covered it, something else would happen. But there's a lot to talk about the World Cup, so maybe we'll do that next week. You can also join our Patreon if you want. If you are a patron and you've been wondering, where the fuck is my content? It's coming soon. We're a really small team these days. So we will have a Behind the Crack coming out really soon with myself and Lux. I'm going to be filming a Philosophy Office Hours this week, so that'll be up soon. In case you're wondering what those things are, if you are on the Patreon, so once a month for now, we want to do this more. We just need more people. I do a video called Office Hours. And what I basically do in the office hours is I break down ideas we talk about in the videos in a little more length, a little more depth. I also answer questions people have. So if you're a patron, you can ask me questions and I will answer them. There is a chat for exclusive content on our Discord, which you also get on if you join Patreon, where you can do that. Behind the Crack is a podcast where we dive into videos, talk to writers, and be able to work on stuff. So there you go. There you go, friends. But I think as we approach 11:15 Pacific, we should get into the Harris hole. Vox is pimping his own show. Hell yeah, Vox. Let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, check out Vox Podcast, but you know that. You know to do that. Let's dive into the Harris hole. I think it's about time. So Johnny Harris did a video on crypto. We've been talking about crypto a little bit more recently because of the SBF and FTX debacle and things like that. Yeah, we do need Henry emotes. We need Harris emotes. If you have ideas for emotes, let us know. We're going to be updating a lot of that stuff soon. We're just trying to survive the year. Is anyone else just trying to survive the year? Let's do a temp check as well. As we approach the end of 2023, see, I can't even speak. As we approach the end of 2022, I need to know what everyone's temp is as they approach the end of the year. Here's how I want to scale it. Let's do temps. If you're cool, if your temp is cool, you're good to go. Life is easy. You're not stressed. If your temp is freezing, you're bored by how easy life is. If it's warm, you're a little bit stressed, but you're going to make it. If there's a heat wave, you're barely surviving. So a quick temp check. I would say I'm warm, bordering on heat wave. I'm excited to get through the rest of this year, but it's been a bit of a doozy. What temp are you at right now, producer Henry, in your life as you approach the end of this year? Are you feeling cool, warm, breezy, real hot?
Warm with a bit of a cool breeze coming up. So, yeah.
That's really great. I'm excited about that. I think I have a cool breeze on the horizon. This is the first year where we have convinced the powers that be, or not even convinced them, just not told them, that we're actually taking a couple weeks off over the holidays over at Wisecrack. So we can just kind of recover and get some wind in our sails. Damn, we got heat waves, sauna hot. Terranaut's freezing. That's great. Ubergesh is warm. Juan's got the heat wave. CR's got the heat wave. Wow. Ooh, Derek is getting his dissertation ready for submission. That rules. Nolan is melting. Terminal is warm. Gregoria is cool. We love it. We got a lot of warm. John's water heater dies occasionally. Ooh, Wheelie Wannabe's in law school. That sounds like a heat wave for sure. Tepid. I like that. Brian is cool. We love it. Nope is swamping. Getting toasty for Hector. Mellow Jello is cooking eggs. Damn, guys. Damn. Well, hopefully we can all approach a temperature we want to be at by the end of the year. So, JD cooked an egg as cooked as an egg on a Phoenix sidewalk. Dave is mild. Wasteland Blues is chilly. Union Forever has an interview. Wow, we're really doing it. So let's see what temp Johnny Harris is at. Let's just get into it. Let's get into this video, and we'll chat about it during.
Hey, hotties, let's talk about Bitcoin.
Wow, so aggressive right off the bat.
65,000 to make Bitcoin an official currency.
Gypsy's defending their master's thesis. I just have to shout that out. That's amazing. Congrats. Gypsy, if you're on the stream on the 22nd, you'll have to let us know how it went. We'll have to celebrate you.
Last time we talked about crypto, it kind of seemed like the good times would just never end.
Cryptocurrency is going mainstream.
Fortune favors the brave.
Crypto.com arena.
If you're a crypto person too, let us know in the chat. I don't mean that because I don't want to make fun or anything like that. It's just scary. It's crypto scary.
And they did.
It's been a brutal week for crypto investors.
Founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has announced his official resignation.
Not only did all these graphs go down, but
okay, so in this one, it seems like we're leaving maps for graphs, and I love
one
it.
of the largest crypto platforms went bust when we
I mean, if you've seen this video already, you haven't seen it with us, so it's like seeing it all over
discovered
again.
that the founder was using tons of investors' money to fund his other company and not telling anyone. Totally not okay.
Crypto exchange FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy today.
It's safe to say there were red flags all over the place.
As of last week, it was worth
Was Sam Bankman-Fried going to go to jail? Does anyone have a sense of that?
$32 billion.
Like surely it had to be some sort of scam.
This is why you're seeing this guy's face all over the news lately. He literally lost like over $10 billion over.
So now we have maps, we have monitors, we have graphs. What a good setup he has. Very jealous of his setup.
So now I feel a bit vindicated.
While all of this turmoil has been going down, crypto actually had a huge win lately. Something that no one's really talking about.
Waiting for the merge.
The merge?
They really solved one of their biggest problems. So that's what I want to focus on today. So what happened? And is it enough to save the cryptoverse? Let's do this.
The merge is perhaps the most important
I'll be honest, I have no idea what the merge is, so I'm going to be learning this live today.
update in Ethereum's history.
Can you explain it to everyone?
This is the biggest development in the crypto space.
Crypto's
And if you know what the merge is, you get to feel
most
smug.
ambitious change to date.
Hey, before we go on, I need to pay my bills and thanks to today's sponsor.
I'm going to skip the sponsor thing, but that's cool. I like how he does it when he says, I got to pay the bills and do the sponsor. I think sometimes maybe we're a little bit too suck-uppy about sponsors. So I'm going to do that soon. When we have a sponsor, I'm going to say, we got to pay the bills and see if they get mad. We talked about that last week, though. If you're interested in knowing more about YouTube sponsors and things, check out last week's stream.
Welcome to Crypto 102. This is really stupid. Why am I doing this? Every time I have to explain the blockchain to people, I have to do some gimmick to be like, I'm going to teach you the blockchain using the simplest version. No, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Fuck the blockchain.
Oh, boy.
Let's do this. If you want to understand why internet money is making the ocean rise, all you really have to understand is...
Mellow Jello notes that he needs to update his Chrome browser. Woohoo Life says Shane Dawson level docuseries guy. Moving on. I'm sorry, we have fun watching this, but whatever.
this.
Oh, and Brian brings up that after this, the problem with Jon Stewart pod. Excellent interview at FTX. I'll check it out.
This is a crypto mining farm. It is a warehouse full of specialized computers that have one job and one job only: solving math problems.
I think you could pay me $1 million and send me to a villa and give me all the nootropics and Adderall in the world and a full year to understand crypto mining and the blockchain, and I still wouldn't understand it.
These things are all over the world. Hell, I was in a Swiss bunker a couple weeks ago, and the guy I was interviewing had one of these things.
Mining Bitcoin at the same time.
Yeah. Is this just another way for me to slip in Switzerland to a video that's completely unrelated? It totally is. Any chance?
I need to watch the new Jon Stewart show. Vox says it's really good. Yeah, I've never really seen that. Henry, have you watched Jon Stewart's new show?
I have not followed his newest stuff. I've seen snippets of interviews, but I haven't really followed up with like full-on episode watching.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll check it out sometime.
Chance I have, I will mention my favorite country. Anyway,
his favorite country, Switzerland. That's sus. That's sus. You know, Google Switzerland and World War II. You know, you want to say that's your favorite country? I don't know,
machines
Jonathan.
all over the world are sitting here racing against each other to solve a complicated math puzzle first.
Alex, you're right.
And if you're the lucky computer that solves one of these complicated puzzles, you win the race. And that allows you to verify what's called a block, which is just a little.
Wasteland Blues asks a good question. I'm going to stop pausing so much. I know people hate when I pause obsessively. Wasteland Blues says, why are YouTubers so obsessed with having funny moments in their videos that are never funny? That's a really good question. I have two thoughts there. One is that everyone wants to be funny, and we live in an era where people idealize being a comedian or adjacent to comedy. So even people that are really good at one thing feel this need to be very funny. I felt like this when Chris Harris on MSNBC did a late night show at one point, and I was just like, you don't need to be funny, journalist Chris Harris. The other thing, Wasteland Blues, is that in people that make YouTube videos are normally conscious of pattern disruption, because science tells us that when you all are watching videos, when I'm watching videos, when producer Henry's watching videos, our attention will lag unless something happens that breaks the patterns. So I think sometimes people do stuff like that as an attempt of pattern disruption to keep our attention.
Yeah, I was
box of data on the Bitcoin block
part.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Henry.
Oh yeah, I was just, if you hadn't brought up the punctured the pattern disruption, like yeah, jokes serve as like punctuation that can really save an edit if the essay is lacking substance elsewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the case. D Cross says, I thought it was an ADHD thing. I think there's both stuff there. Penny, your husband's missing out. But yeah, I think it's a weird balance. And I think, it's something that because there was a period at Wisecrack where we were a lot more rigid and serious and stuff like that. And I had to push for a while to loosen things up a little bit more. But it's a weird balance.
Nick Carney in the comments says it's the Marvel movies, and
yeah,
I know that's kind of a go-to, kind of easy one to poke at. But if you go back to Marvel comics in the '60s, like this is a thing that's happened in writing since the start, like just the use of humor to kind of like pad out the rhythm.
Yeah, that's good. And Budget Balance says you need the humor to make the bread tube less dense. Wheelie Wannabe owned me very accurately. I will not pause so much. Less than 2 seconds of this video. Okay, everyone like the stream and I'll stop pausing.
Blockchain, for example, is only 1 megabyte of data. It's just big enough to hold like 2,000 transactions that people have made with their cryptocurrency. As you publicly verify this block of transactions, it gets added to a long chain of a bunch of other blocks that have been verified by the same math puzzle race process. And they sort of get strung together into a publicly available, totally verified chain of transactions, verified by fancy computers that do a bunch of math. It is called a blockchain. Wait, no, I'm not here to explain the blockchain. I'm supposed to be explaining this.
But you just did, Jonathan. I haven't paused in a while.
So why would a bunch of people around the world pay a lot of money to make these big warehouses so that they can...
Oh, Wheelie Wannabe, you didn't want me to pause, but now you said something good, so I have to pause. Wheelie Wannabe says, I think we just hate inauthenticity and struggle to name it when we see it. I think that's really, really well put. I mean, for example, yes. I think when Harris does those moments, I think that's what gets me. They do feel kind of inauthentic. Dude abides, have a good one, man. We'll see you soon. Mike Luxembourg, noted internet creep, said, it's also like you're recording for hours and you want to have a little fun with it. Yes. If you guys ever, if Henry or Lux or anyone at Wisecrack ever wants to ruin me, they'll release the Burns cut, which is me losing my mind as we film videos. Because sometimes when we film, I just sit in a little room for like 4 or 5 hours and just say stuff to a camera with no humans. And sometimes I lose my mind a little bit. I lost my mind a little bit yesterday filming the Grinch video. I don't know who is editing that one, but they will have an opportunity to put some really weird stuff in there. So there you go. Jackson's here. Jackson is ready to go to the Harris hole. Jackson's video on Top Gun's really good, by the way. I'm saving my Top Gun thoughts for our Year at the Movies episode on December 22nd. I'll say this now. I'm not going to bring it up that day. And if anyone knows, I'll be mad. It's actually my birthday. I'm going to stream on my birthday. That's how much I like doing this with you all. I'm streaming on my birthday talking about movies. I love you. I love movies. I love my birthday. But yeah, I just really think that in the discussion we're having now, Wheelie Wannabe really nailed it. So thanks for doing that. Like the stream.
And verify a math puzzle, because if you're the one who owns the computer that success.
Oh yeah, Jackson notes that the gun violence video did have some jokes that I want out there. Jackson's also in the club of people that could ruin my life.
Successfully solves the math puzzle and verifies the block of transactions, you get rewarded. In the case of Bitcoin right now, you'd get 6.25 Bitcoins, which is like, I don't know, nothing more than $125,000. So yeah, there's a huge incentive for people to build these things and to mine all day for Bitcoin. Anyway, this race to complete math problems uses up a lot of problems.
I mean, I do wonder as well, people who are into crypto, what is there an environmental justification for why it's still good to do this?
A lot of energy. It takes a whole lot of work for your computer to run through all of these computations trying to figure out what the answer is. And that's why this method is called proof of work. Every computer that verifies the transactions on the blockchain has to do a lot of work. This is all well and cute until you think through all the...
For Harris, I think the graphics are his best thing. Like the video clips, the graphics. I don't think he needs to try to be funny. We have a short video, Alex, on Chainsaw Man, if you want to check it out. Maybe we should do a Burns cut for the patrons.
Energy that goes into building these machines, and then you think of the electricity it takes to run them.
Okay, here we go.
Day and night. And then you remember that they get really hot when they're running all the time doing these computations, so you need to cool them down with AC units. And then remember that most of the electricity we use today comes from burning hydrocarbons, which releases a nice thick blanket of CO2 into the atmosphere that warms the planet and contributes to the ongoing global warming crisis.
Damn, Johnny.
So yeah, that's how the math money makes the ocean rise. But that problem may have just been solved.
Ethereum pulls off the merge.
Ethereum just got...
Okay, this is exciting. Again, I did not watch this video leading into it. I didn't feel like I had to, see if Harris said something problematic. But I'm very curious. Yeah, Wheelie Wannabe says his production value is absurdly, annoyingly good. It reeks of a team. I think he has a lot of team. A great team. Magnanimous Review says, "Yo, Mike, I watched this yesterday. I'm a regular viewer of Johnny's content. I found this video very informative, interesting. Just turned into stream. Is this a critique?" No, it's not a critique. Our Magnanimous Reviews, I like Johnny's videos a lot. I think sometimes he's a little fast and loose when he talks about history and politics, but I'm learning stuff. And I think the production value of his videos rule. It's awesome.
Got revamped.
Second blockchain, Ethereum, which is home to...
And he looks cool with the long hair and a beanie.
The cryptocurrency Ether has just completely changed the way that it does the whole crypto electricity math verification thing. This isn't just some changing the code and hitting update. This verification process that they change.
Yeah, D, I think he's in some of the videos talked about having a team, but that's cool. I think it's good when people have teams, and it's good when people who make money doing this pay good people to help them make stuff. I like that we have people like producer Henry and Jackson and lots of other fun people who get to work with us and make cool shit. It's fun to get to work with cool people.
Change is like the beating heart of the blockchain. Switching it out for something new is like switching out the engine of a car while it's hurling down the road at 120 miles an hour. Insanely difficult to do. So insanely difficult to do that nobody else has ever dared to try it. But Ethereum, they were...
Hey, it's 11:30 Pacific. Like the stream if you're enjoying it.
It's worth it. For the planet. So they start working on this transition for years and years. They're tinkering away, they're testing it, they're perfecting it, until September 15th, 2022, when they finally flipped the switch and... So, what happened? Did it all crash and burn and die and the Ethereum blockchain is no more? Did the car go hurtling off the highway without an engine?
What movie is this from? Everyone in the chat, I'm pausing it right here. Who's the first person that guesses? What movie is this? It's a classic. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I'm not pressing play again until someone in the chat tells me what movie this is.
Wow.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. 2:30 in Sweden. What's up, Luz? Sweden's a great country. I went there once. I really enjoyed it. Do you know it? Oh,
there we go.
Rob Sean got it. Thelma and Louise. Great movie. It's about doing crime with your best friend and then killing yourselves at the end in a great way. Wasteland Blood says Batman Begins. Kind of. Yeah, TNL. Fast and Furious 19. Yes. I mean, really, Thelma and Louise could be seen as a Fast and Furious prequel. Toy Story 4. Yes. The Simpsons movie. Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely the Simpsons
I think
movie.
the episode's Marge Makes a Friend.
Yeah. Casablanca. Yep, that's also correct. All of these are correct. Speaking of film, Wayne's World. Yeah, Wayne's World does a thing like this. I want to say one thing about the movies, friends. I watched a movie last night that I've watched many times in the 23 years since it's come out. I probably haven't watched it in 2 years. I watched Office Space again recently. What a picture, guys. What a picture. Okay. Oh, Bara, you got to watch Thelma and Louise. It's one of the best movies. Oh yeah, but it's also Transformers: Age of Extinction. So there you go. Unvexus asks an interesting question. What is the actual value of perceived authenticity in a video essayist as opposed to other attributes? My answer to that question would be, I think that a video essayist either needs to be really good in terms of production value, research, and that sort of stuff. And I watch them because I know they're bringing a certain level of quality to it. Or it's someone who I do think exudes a level of authenticity and I feel like it's a good hang and I trust them. If they can be both at once, I think that's ideal. But yeah. And just for transparency, I mean, I think a lot of you know this because we're talking about teams and stuff like that. Wisecrack has a team, you know this. We currently have 4 full-time team members and freelancer researchers and editors and graphics people we work with. It's a pretty small team, and I will say that I'm involved in writing, editing, copy editing, all the scripts and stuff like that. Sometimes I write them solo. Sometimes we work as a team. My colleague Amanda is the best scriptwriter in the game, and she writes a lot of them. But yeah, we're teamed up. Let's keep watching because now we got to see what happens. Because you might be thinking maybe Thelma and Louise is a movie about people that do a cool Evel Knievel style car jump. Now they die.
No, actually, it went off without a hitch. Which again, for me, I'm just like, cool, good job, guys. But the thing that blew my mind is this. Look at this graph. I mean, look at this graph.
That's really cool. I don't know why this isn't a bigger news story.
Energy consumption of the Ethereum blockchain.
Luxembourg is team. He's like hashtag team.
Look at that drop off. We're talking about a 99.5% drop in power consumption for this blockchain. I mean, to give you some context here, before this transition, which they called the merge, the Ethereum blockchain was consuming the same amount of electricity.
But to be clear, this is just the power used in the creation of Ethereum, right? I mean, I'm sure he'll get into it. But yeah, also,
electricity as the country of Chile. It's as if a major developed country was suddenly taken off the planet's energy bill. The CEO of the Ethereum block,
Friedman over here, the Chicago School of Economics, just taking out
claimed
Chile.
That this one software update has reduced global power consumption by 0.2%, which is just like...
Uvexa says, but why would having a paid support team reduce perceived authenticity? And essayists can be plenty pseudo-authentic and also have helpers. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think having a team makes someone less authentic. But for example, so we have a team at Wisecrack that works on stuff. But a thing that is important for me, and I've been obnoxious with this. There's video ideas we've had. There's a video idea me and my colleague Amanda were talking about the other day that kind of boiled down to it was a good idea, but for me to be the one to explain and present that idea would feel inauthentic and wouldn't feel, I guess, honest and genuine. So we decided not to do it. And for me, I guess that's a part of authenticity is we work as a team, but we still, at least on my end, I really try to commit to being who I am and not bullshitting. Isaac, that was definitely a Pinochet reference.
From the math puzzle race, the proof of work race, which they had to do to verify all their transactions, to a totally different system called proof of stake.
So now, instead of having a bunch of computers around the world racing each other, all sucking up energy.
Martine, absolutely. F the Chicago boys. But shout out to boys from Chicago.
To do this big math race. Now, every computer that wants to verify a block has to put in a stake, a small amount of cryptocurrency that then puts you in the running to verify a block. Sort of like buying a lottery ticket.
If you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket.
Then, through a very complex process that I will not go into here, a single random computer is picked to verify that block and take home that sweet, sweet commission. So no more of these big crypto farms racing against each other to see who can get there first, contributing the most process.
I mean, I guess one thing when I think about this sort of thing, so I have a friend, I guess is he still a friend? An acquaintance, who is a documentary filmmaker and works a lot of nonprofits and stuff. And he was asking about this idea of why is it that when we have big new technological developments, paradigm shifting developments, they often contain problems or issues or lead to new problems, right? So I think crypto is one of those. We have this innovative new form of a digitized economy, which then contains a new problem of the environmental impact of making these sorts of things. And, you know, some people will look at that as, you know, every evolution creates new problems to be solved as a part of that. There's a Hegelian part of my brain that likes that. What I'd said to this friend, and we were talking about some things relating to economics and development, the problem also seems to be that, you know, we're just so committed to finding ways to make the current system work as it is that we will run things into the ground doing that rather than step back and maybe be like, the way we're doing things isn't good. Maybe that was a little bit unclear there, but that's kind of... You know, like it's like when we look at let's say in like California. Go ahead, Henry.
Well, like because like the consumption to generate the currency is going down, but it's still ultimately, you know, a currency system emulating the physical the physical currency we're running with now, or the paper money system. Just this to me strikes as like, it's cool that it's more energy efficient, but I still have questions about like who recognizes the value of it, what's the exchange rate with real money, how it interacts with other systems. Just you're fundamentally just recreating the same currency system. Just, I mean, it's decentralized, but like if it's decentralized, what's the utility in it?
Yeah, decentralized for what end? I mean, I think about this a lot. Like in California, there's often talk about we're gonna ban fossil fuels, we're gonna encourage electric car production, we're gonna yada yada yada. But the problem is always framed with the assumption that individual auto travel on major highways is a necessary part of society. It's never considered that maybe the problem is a society and an economy and a state and cities that are dependent on individual car ownership and, you know, transit on massive, crowded, destructive highways. So it's never, let's figure out how to reduce auto travel via public transportation or, you know, building better pedestrian friendly cities. It's always, how do we keep doing the thing we want, but in a way that's slightly less bad?
Yeah, Eric Nephron in the comments saying we need better money, just which doesn't address the core problem of capitalism itself.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like we need better cars rather than questioning why we're so obsessed with cars in the first place. Brian said human beings have short memories, so sometimes when we come up with new ideas, they're often reactions to things that have happened before, only with new tools. Yeah, I think that's definitely true.
And then Jackson bringing up, of course, that, yeah, crypto is decentralized, but the vast majority of it's centralized in places like FTX and finance. Like, yeah, if you're going to be using crypto, like you're going to need a crypto card, you're going to need to invest in what's otherwise just a new type of bank with different types of laws, but still essentially the same thing.
Yeah. And it's like the story of crypto is retelling the story of the internet, in that I genuinely believe some of the founders of crypto were very genuine and earnest and authentic in their attempts to do something decentralized and new and non-state based with the economy. But what happens? It becomes large scale. And now all the same Wall Street investment firms that we might think are bad have crypto divisions. all the billionaires we wanted to subvert with this sort of stuff are now just jumping into the same thing and turning it into another resource of speculative finance. It kind of in the same way that, the internet started. I think we did a video about this recently. And some cool bros started the internet to do something interesting, to decentralize information, to make this more democratic space. But the second people figured out they could make tons of money off of it, it just became what it is now. And I think you're seeing the same thing happen here. Wheelie Wannabe says, so is there a utility for crypto? If so, what's the utility? I mean, like buying drugs. Paul says Patty's dollars. Yeah, I think that's a great Always Sunny reference.
There's certain, there's certain like international currency laws and stuff if you're trying to get money to people that need help where a government might be blocking that kind of aid. But it's still, like, in contrast to traditional currency systems, not a replacement for them in that case.
Yeah. Christopher Pierce says, we had a very good public transportation system. I think Christopher's talking about America in many cities, but that was scrapped so we could be less free as we were shackled to expensive automobile ownership and maintenance. Yeah, guys, watch Roger Rabbit, a movie about how Los Angeles in the early 20th century had one of the most expansive public transit systems in the country. And it was torn up to build highways because developers and the oil companies got together to build suburbs at the end of highways that necessitated the need for cars and the consumption of oil. Brian says, Wisecrack, capitalism ruins everything. Us? Never. Would never say that. Would never say that. Jackson says you can use crypto to pay ransoms. Yeah. I'll be honest. The only time I've ever had crypto, I'm going to be really honest. This is honesty corner right here. I've only ever had a little bit of crypto and I used it to purchase psychedelic substances. I'm just going to be honest with you. If there's any cops in here, statute of limitations, I don't think you can arrest me off a confession made on a YouTube stream. But that's real. Shout out what you have used your crypto for in the chat if it's not illegal. And hey, like the stream. We'll keep going, but like the stream if you're here. It helps us.
The same power. Instead, it's just one computer doing the very light.
Oh, sorry. Were you talking and I played it over you, Henry?
Yeah, I was just bringing up Tamakis's comment. The utility of crypto is finding a greater fool to sell it to.
Damn. That's great. Sorry, Henry. The audio is weird where I hear the video really loud and you really low. So I did not mean to play the video over you. That was not an act of disrespect. Okay.
Lifting a very block. Because again, it was the racing, all of these machines working simultaneously that used up the power, not the verification process itself. So there you have it.
Oh, Vox, I've kidnapped too.
Saved, the power-hungry computers were turned offline, and the world energy consumption plummeted all over the globe. The ice caps stopped melting, and the pollution was reduced to their lowest levels in 40 years. Actually, that's not what happened.
Whoa. Guys, we have a full-on multiplicity situation. We have an eternal daughter situation. We have, I'm trying to think of other movies where one person plays multiple parts. This is intense. Let's see what happens here.
Enter the Harris hole?
Yeah, we are in the Harris hole, guys. If you've wondered what the Harris hole is, it's this. We got two Harrises talking to each other. This is world historical. I don't know. We got to do something in the chat. We got to make something happen. This is huge. Let's keep going, but this is huge. Roger Rabbit's a great movie.
Happened at all. Cryptoverse is far from saved. Skeptic Johnny.
This is just fantastic stuff. We are just we're so deep in the Harris hole. This is the real Harris hole. Like the stream if you're in the Harris hole.
You were going to be here. I thought you moved to Tampa. I heard you were making another video, so I thought I'd stop by.
Also, I said Tampa. People love using Tampa as a specific when they make jokes about geography. There was a thing on Jimmy Fallon the other day where Tampa was used as a joke. So if you're writing jokes and you use a place, let's just no more Tampa. I think I've done it before too. No more Tampa.
Can I guess?
This is next level.
Okay. Good to be back. Crypto Johnny.
Guys, there's a third Johnny. There's a third. Oh, Vox asks, can a Harris be in his own hole? I think so. Is there an X-rated version of this?
Hey, I heard you guys were talking about crypto.
The human Harris centipede?
And I'm here to tell you that the cryptoverse might not be totally saved, but this is a huge step in the right direction. I'm coming in.
Call it now. If you haven't seen this video, and don't cheat, because I know some of you have, Is there going to be a fourth Harris? I think there's going to be a fourth Harris. Do you think there's going to be a fourth Harris, Henry?
No, I don't. I think
We're just 3?
I'm hedging on 3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to just be fun and vote for 4. Guys, we're really going for it.
Oh gosh, why do crypto people always have to be so polarized? Can't we just stay curious about this new technology and just see what happens?
Yeah.
No. Okay, fine. Let's do this again. Can I at least get some Doritos? Okay. Oh, I thought the video was over. Okay, let's do this. Skeptic Johnny, you start.
Do we think that he really eats Doritos with chopsticks as a normal practice, or if this is for the video?
I honestly want to hear what you have to say. I thought that the merge and this huge proof of stake thing was like a huge win for crypto. So what's your rebuttal? No, I mean, you're totally right. Having Ethereum switch to proof of stake...
I wish I could wear shirts like that. It's like a cool shirt. I'm not making fun. If it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, it's a cool style of shirt. I just couldn't pull it
was a huge deal. Is a huge deal.
Some people think we're gonna have 5 Harrises.
Completely, like that graph that you showed earlier, super impressive. Thank you. Didn't realize this was gonna be so amicable. But let's be clear that this is just one of a million problems facing crypto. The crypto space is still rife with scams and volatility. The real reason your little project hasn't taken off yet is because regular old people are way too afraid of losing their money with a cryptocurrency that can be worth $65,000 one month and then a couple months later worth $35,000. Word. Wait, what? No, that happened to me. Whoa, you invest? After the last video, when this guy gave his big crypto sermon, I was kind of convinced and things were going well, and so I went and I bought like $1,000 worth of crypto, and now it's worth like 300. Yeah.
Damn, he lost money in the market. Wasteland Blues says, this is great. I know every time we do the Harris hole, I'm like, I don't want to lose Cass, but Cass, it's just hard. Like, I don't want to alienate you in particular, but, not differentiating characters enough. But I'll say this, the Vox, the word was a lot. He did say word, and the way he said it was a lot. Yeah, I guess, okay, here's the thing. Someone said he's not differentiating the characters enough, which is fair. But for him to differentiate the characters, I think he'd have to be at least a solid actor. Maybe you could do a little bit of voice work. And maybe he just knows that's not his bag, so he's not going to go that far, which I respect. Word.
Case and you and like everyone else who dabbled in crypto. You'll make it all back. You just need to hold. Okay, but even if he does make it back, the volatility of crypto isn't actually its biggest problem. If it's not the environment and it's not the volatility, which I'm concerned about, what is it? This ought to be good. It turns out that crypto's biggest problem is that guy.
Guys.
Dang.
Guys, it happened. We got 4 Johnnies. 1, 2, 3, 4 Johnnies. Wow. I just got to sit for a second. I just got to sit with that for a second. We got our 4th Johnny. Some of you said 5. Some of you said 5. Also, his place looks really nice. I think he's smart because I don't think Johnny Harris, I don't know where he lives. I don't think he lives in Los Angeles. You know what's a stupid idea? Working in digital media and living in Los Angeles where things are really expensive. Okay, we might still have 5 though. We might still have 5. Let's see.
How's it going, guys?
Oh God, not this guy. Wait,
Business,
there's more
Johnny.
Of you? What is this? I don't do this. Who the hell is this guy? That is Johnny Law, and he is hard at...
Johnny Law. Okay, so right when I said he wasn't going to do a character, he went for it. He went for Johnny Law. No beanie, Johnny Law. Oh, he lives in DC, someone says. DC is pretty expensive, too.
At work thinking about how to regulate crypto. The real existential threat to crypto right now.
Anyone live in DC in the chat? DC is a weird town.
Is not volatility or the environment or the lack of adoption. It is regulators.
Regulators! Mount up.
No one's going to get that reference unless...
No one's going to get that reference? Oh, okay, this is going a type of way. Who got that reference in the chat? I'm curious. Henry, do you know that reference?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. Does anyone else? I know that. I mean, Vox. Let's be honest. I know that you're even older than me, so I know that you know that reference. Let's see. Does anyone else get the reference for the clip he just showed? Libertarian Johnny. Wow. Yeah, Warren G. Okay, Warren G. And Nate Dogg, Regulate. Really classic music video. If you've never seen it and you want to know what was it like to be a kid or a teen in the early 90s watching MTV, BET, channels of that nature, and watching music videos, watch the Regulate music video. It's pretty fun. R.I.P. Nate Dogg.
They had an older brother to hip hop in the 90s. Hey.
An older brother who was in the hip hop in the 90s? That's so weird. Johnny's like, I feel like he's probably my age. He would have known.
My brother had that.
But shout out your older brother who was into hip hop in the 90s. If you have an older brother that was into hip hop in the 90s, shout out their name. I hope if my sister was in the chat, she could reference me, but she's not here.
That album too.
Hey, thanks for liking the stream.
Love Nate Dogg. Before you go into the SEC, wait, hold on. Let me just finish this thought about.
I wish I had a live cam to watch Dr. Professor Christopher Maverick, PhD, aka Vox Podcast in the chat, reacting to this video, because I feel like it'd be wonderful.
The government and regulators before you can have your rebuttal. The fact is, we did see some governments embrace crypto, like the government of El Salvador, who made it legal tender. At that same time, other governments were showing what it looks like when you regulate crypto. In China, they've outright banned crypto.
This is a stupid question, but if a government is just going to regulate and take on crypto as a currency anyways, is it doing something that's that radically different from traditional currency? Asking that question because I don't know a lot.
You're not allowed any kind of transactions in or outside of the country, and you're not even allowed to mine it. Totally banned. Yeah, that's cool, but China still accounts for the second most mining activity in the world. It's almost as if, I don't know, the rise of the cryptoverse is inevitable. Okay? Governments be damned. You may actually get a front row seat to see how unstoppable the cryptoverse is, because the United States...
This is like a friendly critique. Yeah, I do think he needs to differentiate the characters a little bit more.
Maybe next. No, you're getting it all wrong. Me and the USA, we're chill. We love crypto in the US. It's all about freedom. It's all about doing what you...
So Penny makes a comment, and I don't know if this is true about Johnny Harris, Penny. Penny Cheshire said, Johnny has such little respect for his audience intelligence, da-da-da. I do think an important thing is having respect for one's audience. I felt like this a lot, and there's been some recent videos where the comments by some people imply that you all are stupid, and it makes me really mad because I think you're all really smart.
You love, okay? Me and Matt Damon, we're like best friends.
Fortune favors the brave.
Yeah, but Matt Damon doesn't pass...
Ooh, Magnanimous Review says, let us not forget this man was a Mormon. Yeah, I've hung out with some Mormons in high school, and I do think Mormon church culture is just kind of good-natured and corny. And I did church stuff growing up where there's a lot of good-natured and corny stuff, and it has some of that energy.
Regulations in the United States. The SEC does. Wait. I know that one. SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. Right? Yes. Great work. The real Johnny's real smart.
Fourth wall breaking.
But yes, that is correct. The SEC is a thing in the United States that is meant to protect investors.
You just don't get it.
I mean, look at this article that I have here from the head of the SEC. They wrote it in the Wall Street Journal.
Wait, did you actually print off that paper?
Yes, I printed it out. It helps me read it. I'm dyslexic. Do you have an issue with that?
I got serious.
I didn't say that. Dude, I'm dyslexic too. And I love printing things, especially in big font. Thank you. Anyway, head of the SEC.
So... two of the Johnnies are dyslexic and one is not.
See, writing in the Wall Street Journal, guess how many times he mentions the environment? I mean, here, you look at it.
Jeez.
Does that article mention anything about the environmental concerns of crypto?
Hold on, I'm checking.
Here, I'll just tell
Red Grape or whatever. That'd be very funny if we found out that Dan Harmon wrote this.
It doesn't. The SEC doesn't care about the environment. That's the EPA. The SEC cares about one thing. Protecting Americans from being scammed. So yeah, it is amazing that the Ethereum blockchain was able to get off of its insane energy consumption. That is a great step, but the cryptoverse is still riddled with the same old...
Danny, so you bring up eating Doritos with chopsticks. I've seen people do that more with Takis and Cheetos, less Doritos, but that is a thing. Oscar Isaac famously did it, and there's a very famous picture of Oscar Isaac looking like a snack eating Cheetos with chopsticks, or maybe Takis.
Problems. It's all problems that the SEC is rearing to sort out with a bit of good old regulation.
In light of FTX's bankruptcy calls are being renewed for oversight and legislation from Congress.
But wait, they're not going to ban crypto in the US.
This isn't China, right?
Ha! Yes, thank you. This is all overblown. I mean, yeah, they're not gonna ban it completely. You're totally right. But
so Vox's turn. Vox is having, I think he is having fun with this. And I do think here is like, it's very staying within his wheelhouse and what works well for him. So I'm not complaining. Cass is probably just punching a wall right now, being like, make it stop. And I'm sorry.
they could reclassify crypto as a security instead of a commodity. Right, Johnny Law?
I mean, yeah, theoretically I could. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that means.
Basically what this means is that crypto would now be registered with the SEC. Like Ethereum would have to register Ether and all other applications with the government.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great for the whole untraceable, unregulated crypto utopia philosophy.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, you've talked with all your nerdy regulation stuff.
This is 100% speculation. There's no proof that they're actually gonna do this.
Yeah, Wheelie wanna be with the Yoda advice about comedy, you know? There is no try. Do or do not do.
And besides, even if they do, a regulated but
Wasteland Blues, what parties are you going to?
Still decentralized monetary system is a lot better than a regulated centralized one like the one that we have with banks.
I am so glad you brought that up. Oh, this is getting good.
So let's talk about decentralization. It's one of the main pillars.
I mean, one could say that what he's doing here, I'm gonna get out of pocket, friends. When Plato chose to write the Republic, did Plato make arguments in a classically structured way? No, Plato framed dialogues between different characters and let us, as readers of books like the Republic or as other dialogues, experience the development of the argument in dialogical fashion. That's why I think a lot of Greek philosophy is really interesting. And I think that Johnny is doing something. Listen, I'm saying he's the Plato of YouTube. No, but there's something interesting about exploring ideas in a dialogical fashion.
Yeah, I find this approach a bit more engaging than the Bermuda Triangle building video, where he kind of built up 3 narratives that he was constantly pulling out from under your rug. And like, on a structural sense, it was a very misleading and dishonest feeling video, whereas this one does feel corny, but it's a bit more straightforward and engaging its subject, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and people have accused me of being a little mean towards Harris. Just note, I just compared him to Plato. I compared him to the guy who invented philosophy. Plato didn't invent philosophy, you know what I mean? So I think there's something interesting. I mean, I think this is why I've always wished, and I don't know how we could do this, and this is a good pause. I've always wished we could find a way to incorporate like dialogue, conversation, debate, stuff like that into our videos a little bit more. But it's kind of hard because it's just like me in a little room. That's why I really liked a series that was very short-lived that we had called The Good, the Bad, and the Brilliant. If you've never watched that series of Wisecrack videos, I'm tempted to like pull one up and have us watch it and break it down, but that would be kind of weird. But you should check it out if you've never seen it before. Thanks for liking the stream, everyone. It means a lot. Wow, Christopher Pierce with the Tenacious D reference. You really gotta love it. You really gotta love it. So yeah, but yeah, watch episodes of Good, Bad, and the Brilliant if you haven't. It was a fun series.
Whole crypto project, right? Yeah, obviously. Great. Then you'll be
Vox is just making Cass break. This is fun. I'm watching a fun dialogical experiment between Vox and Cass in the
interested
chat.
to know that,
and yes, Luz, you're right.
Since they did this big merge, this big flip to proof of stake, almost half of all transactions now happening on the Ethereum blockchain are taking place from 2 addresses. Only 2 addresses.
Wait, 2 addresses?
So much for decentralized.
Yeah, but the fact
Oh wait, I'm not done yet. One sec. I just need to say one more thing, which is all of those farms that I'm telling
Ian, the Social Network episode was great. I'll say, if you've never watched the Social Network episode of Good, Bad, Brilliant with myself and Jamie Loftus, incredible writer, comedian, podcaster. If you don't know her work, you should get on it. Check that out after
you
this.
about that are now like defunct and obsolete. Do you really think those people are just gonna like
shameless
pack
as
up
hell.
and go home and be like, well, we have no use for our like hundreds of expensive computers and mining farms in Iceland? No, they're just gonna switch to another blockchain that can use their computers to do the same old thing that they've been doing forever, which is mining blockchain through proof of work. That energy consumption isn't disappearing, it's just being transferred. Holy shit! Sorry, but a couple weeks ago, I was in Switzerland. Is there ever gonna
Switzerland again.
Be a video where you don't mention Switzerland? Seriously, dude.
Wait, are the Emerson alums in the chat? The Emerson Mafia, are they here? Oh yeah, Jamie Loftus. Yeah, Emerson person. We just have we have so many Emerson people who have been involved in Wisecrack over the years. So I guess if you want to get involved in the just the direct to Wisecrack pipeline, go to Emerson University, and I guess you start in Boston and then eventually you transfer to LA. I think that's the case.
No, of course not. When I was in that Swiss bunker, which was right around the time that this merge was happening, it was like the end of September, they told me that they were shutting down their mining operation for a little bit.
Just last week, he says it's not making money right now, so I'll take a break.
Yeah. And it must have been because of the merge. Cool. And their next step was to just like...
I was shouting on the college at Emerson. Everyone I know from there is great. Jackson's great. Evan's great. Old friend Joy is great. Jamie Loftus is great.
Destroy all of those really expensive computers and revamp the bunker to be some hip Airbnb? Is that what their plan was?
I mean, no, they're probably just looking for like other blockchains to like use all their hardware on.
Yeah, exactly. It was sort of a rhetorical thing. I didn't know you were going to actually try to answer the question. It was kind of embarrassing.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off there because it's my turn to speak, okay? You've been just blabbering this whole time. So yes, a lot of these miners are moving to other blockchains to use their big mining farms, but
oh, and Murph, of course, Murph. So I forget all the people who have been at Wisecrack who are Emerson grads.
This is just the beginning. This is early days.
Yeah, Ring Around the Rosie, the Righteous Gemstones one was awesome too with Alec.
Do you realize all technologies start out clunky? You want to hear my prediction? The biggest effect isn't the big graph that goes down to zero of all of its energy consumption. It's how it's going to inspire other blockchains to do the same thing, to adopt proof of stake.
See, that was cool. I like what he did here in terms of offering a kind of like auto critique of the earlier part of the video and pointing out something new. This is fun.
Like imagine if the Bitcoin blockchain adopted proof of stake. It would change the world. It would literally change the world.
But that's never going to happen.
Although I'll say this. Anytime anyone says something will literally change the world, it literally will not.
Bitcoin has zero plans to switch to proof of stake or any other way of verifying. And unlike Ethereum, which is run like a business,
Alex,
they have
great.
a CEO, they can actually make these decisions top down. Bitcoin is this super decentralized project. You would need 51% of the users to all agree to switch something this big. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
But they might not have a choice. If the rest of this master plan that Ethereum has goes as smoothly as the merge, then it's going to be more of a case of adapt or die.
Wait, a plan? What are you talking about?
Oh, you haven't heard?
So Martin in the chat has been a developer for close to 20 years. If Bitcoin was used for just Visa, it would literally double the global energy usage. That sounds not good.
The merge is just the beginning. Oh man, buckle up for this one. After the merge, we have the surge, then the verge, then the purge, then the splurge.
We got Rick. We got a Rick sighting. We this is our first Harris and Rick universe overlap. Also, today, we saw this on the stream the other day that Elon Musk used Rick at one of his presentations.
Really? The splurge? Why do these tech companies always have to come up with these cutesy naming things? The surge is just the next part of the master plan. It involves massively scaling up the Ethereum blockchain, which is way easier to do now that we have proof of stake verification. Okay, so you're probably asking, what would this scaling up even do?
I actually didn't ask.
It would mean instead of the Ethereum blockchain being able to perform like 20 transactions per second.
What's like the vibe of Ethereum as a currency, friends? Like, I feel like I get the vibe of Bitcoin. I know what Bitcoin is. I know the vibe of a Bitcoin enthusiast. I know the vibe of a Dogecoin enthusiast. What's Ethereum? Is it the edgy one, the serious one, the cool one, the sexy one, the mysterious one? What is its vibe?
It would to perform over 100,000 transactions in a second. Guys, this is huge. Don't even get me started on the verge.
Yada, yada, yada. I feel like this is just another set of empty words to get people excited so they invest in the math money project.
I think I like, okay, it's time to pick as well. Which Johnny do we like the best? I think striped shirt Johnny is the one that I'm vibing with the most here. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know what Ethereum's vibe is. Also, we're almost to the end of this. It's time to pick who your favorite Johnny is. You have, original Johnny or Johnny Prime. You got Black Hoodie Johnny, who seems to be the most crypto bro. Regulator Johnny in the suit. And then we have striped Johnny, Waldo Johnny or something like that. It's r/atheism fedora one
that you're doing. Everything about crypto, it seems like it always goes to this. Some like life-changing, world-changing technology that's just right around the corner if we all just believe. It just feels like yet another stop along the crypto hype train. And I'm not here for it.
Okay. I think I'm going to call it there, guys.
But Johnny, I wanted to talk about the verge.
Poll for Johnny's. I think that's fair. If Henry has it in him to make a poll right now, we could do that. And I think it would be Johnny Prime, Hoodie Johnny, Stripe Johnny, and Business Johnny, I think is how I would describe them. So if Henry has it in him to make a poll, he can. He doesn't have to, though. He doesn't have to. But Henry, if you want to, you can. Thanks for being here. Like the stream if you're having a fun time. And like the stream if you're not having a fun time, to be different.
Verge.
Zip it, Crypto Johnny. I'm shutting it down. We've had enough. You can talk about The Verge when inevitably I make another one of these videos in like 6 months. Because apparently that's what I do now. For now, let me just say this. The merge was indeed an incredible technical feat. It was a huge boon for the environment. I mean, that graph is insane. This is going to be a great thing.
Guys, the poll is up. This is exciting. I'm going to vote. And I'll share my vote. I'm going Stripes Johnny.
For the planet, no matter what. But will it save the cryptoverse alone? Probably not.
Keep voting. We need more data. Currently, Stripe Johnny's in the lead. Johnny Law is in second. Oh yeah, and if you forget who's who, Johnny Prime is the Johnny who's paused right now, the original Johnny from the video. Hoodie Johnny, guy wearing the black hoodie, seems most in the crypto. Stripes Johnny, Waldo Johnny, and Johnny Law
Skeptic
is
Johnny.
the one. Yeah, they only showed him for a second. But yeah, so yeah, keep it going in the poll.
There are way.
We'll leave the poll up until like the end of the video. So yeah,
more trials and tribulations.
Johnny Law is the best name.
This technology is barely a decade old. We don't have.
Everyone's in the running, but Hoodie Johnny, we seem to not like.
To have these strong opinions on either side. The reality is none of us know what's going to happen next.
No, Johnny Prime is this one. Fox, the one with the green beanie and the button-down shirt.
Why don't we all just agree to sit back, relax, and see what happens next?
Nope, not gonna happen.
Cass is out here trying to swing votes to her side.
He says the same thing every time. Like, let's all hold hands and be friends. No. Okay, I give up. Whatever. Do you guys want to go to beer or something?
I've actually been super into hard kombucha lately.
Of course you have.
Oh, now I want to take my vote back that Stripe Johnny likes hard kombucha.
Yeah, I actually know a great place down the road. Let's go. Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
Wow. Video. Yeah, see, people were talking about this too. It's very clear. He gives credit to the team here. Video by Johnny Harris, editing by Thomas, story producer Thomas, animation Carla, filming by Nick, studio producer Nick, music by Tom Fox, executive producer is operations Laura and Taryn. See, look at us. We give credit. If you're part of this team, Patreon newsroom producers. I guess those people on Patreon that give them a lot of money. That's fun. Okay, so
ending this poll.
Okay, 100 votes in. It looks like the order is going to be Stripe Johnny, Johnny Law, Johnny Prime, and then Hoodie Johnny. Well, there you go. Firefool says, what was the point of this video? Yeah, let's try to summarize that. I think for me, it seemed to point out, how blockchain technology works, how that applies to Ethereum, what the merge was in terms of Ethereum reducing the energy used in that case, but then relating that to the larger crypto economy and forming a debate between regulating these things via state mechanisms and, I guess, applying that same merge logic to other currencies, something like that. What Henry? Not to put you on the spot. What's your takeaway?
There has been a breakthrough in Ethereum mining. Crypto can be more efficiently engineered, mined, chased down. It's still going to be applied to the same processes at whatever consumption rate, and it seems like scaling it up would just still demand a lot of consumption. That was kind of my takeaway, though. I did kind of find the ending abrupt. I'm a little
I don't know if you totally stuck the landing. It's hard to end stuff like this. But yeah, and I do wonder as well if with all of this stuff, it's still largely responding to a created problem. in a way that maybe doesn't get at the meta aspects of, should we be putting this much cultural emphasis, literal energy, and all these sorts of things into crypto? So
it does boil down to kind of like look, crypto got better. It's like, where's it going still?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Let's see. Okay, so we're at the 12:10 Pacific time mark. I guess we're officially kind of working our way out of the Harris hole, but that was a fun dive, everyone. I'm glad we got to do that. Good energy. And Cass, did you stay the whole time? Because if so, it means a lot that you stuck it out with us.
Quite courageous.
And check that out. Would we say, and in the chat, I'm curious what you think too, since we have been diving into around through the Harris hole, is this our favorite recent Harris video? Because I think for me it might be. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other recent ones we've watched, but I feel like there's been some mid ones recently, a couple that deserve some valid criticism. This one was interesting. Yeah, John brings up the Harris hangover. So now it's Harris hangover time. But yeah, in the chat, I'm curious, just how do you rate this one relative to other recent Harris hole excursions? A couple things while we're here. If you're just, I didn't really remind anyone what we're doing or where we're at. Vox loved it. If you tuned in during that, if you're a first timer, this is Wisecrack Live. It's our weekly stream over here at Wisecrack, hosted by myself, Michael Burns, my bud producer Henry on the ones and twos. What a stupid thing everyone says, the ones and twos. Like if we're describing a DJ, it makes sense. But we just decided that as a culture, anyone who runs anything is on the ones and twos. I don't know if I like it. But we're here. We're doing the damn thing. We just got out of the Harris hole, which is what we call it when we dive into the work of YouTuber Johnny Harris, who makes good stuff. Luz loved when they were in your country eating Colombian fruits. I really want to go to Colombia pretty bad. I know I'm asking a lot of questions today to everyone in the chat. If you could go to a country you've never been to very soon, where would it be? Because Colombia might be it for me. Henry, I'm going to force you to answer that as well. If you could go to a country you've never been to before, you got to go soon. Where are you going?
For some reason, Peru came to mind.
Great country.
Yeah, I don't even like. That was an interesting reflection on reaction from my brain. I'm not even quite sure why, but yeah, Peru came to mind.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious. And if anyone's from, I know Luz, I think you're from Colombia because you referenced that, so that's cool. Anyone from Peru here? We got a Japan. That's fun. Okay, so and if you're here as well, just remember we got Egypt, we got Japan. You can subscribe to Wisecrack on YouTube, which gives you some privilege. It in the sort of class structure that we've developed here, it makes you an upper middle class member of Wisecrack Live Society. You get a green username, you get emotes, you get special privileges, you get spiritual powers. And I'll be honest, you're more likely to go to heaven when you die if you are subscribed to the channel. You're definitely going to heaven though if you get some subscriptions and you share them. But more than anything, you're going to heaven if you like the stream. And also, if you want to be God themselves, join our Patreon, because that's a great way to support us. I just want to go through some of these countries. New Zealand, Japan, Uruguay, Morocco, Japan, Kenya, more Uruguay, Spain, Colombia, Peru is under a coup d'etat. Shit. Denmark, Portugal. Joshua went hard and did a bunch of answers. Said Korea, Japan, Brazil, France, Germany, or Finland. Australia, Thailand, Peru, China, Turkmenistan, Italy. We got some good ones. Gatsby, I'm definitely selling indulgences. It's my dream to be the Pope of YouTube. So there you go. So what else are we going to do today? We still got a lot of time, friends. We still got a lot of times. Let's do a palate cleanser. Okay. Palate cleanser time is when we watch some trailers. Guys, there's a trailer I haven't watched. I want to watch. I saved it for you. I'm going to get it loaded. I'm going to hit pause before it starts. I can't believe this is real. They made another Indiana Jones movie. Okay. Indiana Jones is a great character. 2/3 of the original Indiana Jones movies are some of the best large-scale popular films ever made. The last Oh, actually, not 2/3, 1/2. Because do we count Crystal Skull? The last Indiana Jones movie sucked really bad. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If anyone liked that, let me know. Did you like that movie, Henry?
No, I'm of the opinion that Raiders is an excellent film and that Last Crusade has some fun set pieces. Otherwise, overall as a franchise, I don't think Indiana Jones works.
Wow, hot take. Yeah, the one with Shia, I don't like. But they made another one. Here's all I know about this one. I know that Harrison Ford is really old. He's like a really old man. I know that Harrison Ford, I know they use some de-aging technology in this, and I know that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in it, which is kind of cool. That's all I know about this movie. Oh, that one account, 931, says, I thought Crystal Skull was fine. Maybe I should watch it before. So let's watch this trailer. I want to be excited about this, guys. I want to be excited. Brian Jump, we did Cocaine Bear last week. So once this one ends, go watch last week's Wisecrack Live, and you can see us party with the Cocaine Bear.
I miss the desert.
That was a cool looking chase scene. I enjoyed that.
I miss the sea.
And I'm thinking like years wise, when would this have to be? Because original Indiana Jones movies, was it in like the 30s? So now we're what, maybe in the 60s?
And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps.
I think that the reason Indiana Jones appeals is because he's an academic who also is a badass, and most academics are not badasses. So I think it appeals in that way.
Perhaps not.
I don't believe in magic.
You don't believe in magic? You have literally experienced all types of magic and ghost stuff in the previous films. Did you just forget, Indy? Did you forget?
But a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain.
Antonio Banderas? Was that Mads Mikkelsen?
And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
So belief is about how hard you believe. Wait, I'm going to go back for a second because I feel like that was just a Star Wars shot. Okay, that looks like the Millennium Falcon going into light speed or hyperspeed or whatever. That's what that looks like. That has to be intentional. That has to be an intentional little thing for us. I don't think I'm crazy to think that. The Dial of Destiny. That doesn't strike. That's not good. I don't like the Dial of Destiny.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
Related.
I wonder how they're going to make Phoebe Waller-Bridge somehow related to something in the early films. Maybe she'll be the daughter of the British guy that was his boss that then turned into a snitch.
Get back.
This is fun. I feel like that scene is the opposite of the scene in the first film where the dude's trying to sword fight him and then he just guns him. Wow. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a movie that exists. Do we think this should exist? I don't know. Wheelie Wannabe said, didn't you guys do a video on Thomas Kuhn and the structure of scientific revolutions? Yes, we've definitely talked about that a couple times. A thing about my brain is that I can tell you what we've talked about in most videos for the past 3 years. I can rarely tell you what video that was in. I'm going to see it, though. I'm going to see it. Willie Wannabe said, would you consider diving deeper into how we've converted science into a religion? Yes. So, Willie Wannabe, this is kind of what we get into in this Rick and Morty video that's coming out tomorrow. So you should definitely check that out. I love thinking about science and religion and the relationship between the two. I would love to chat about that. Maybe we should find a video that gives us reason to talk about that soon. And Vox is a man of a certain age that wants this movie so much. No, I'm going to see this movie in the first few days it comes out for sure. For sure. Okay, now we're going to pivot. So that's sort of the, if that movie is for the Gen Xers and the younger boomers, guys, we got a Guardians of the Galaxy film aimed at millennials probably. I feel like millennials are the key audience of this. Has anyone watched? Oh yeah, go ahead, Henry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say you could tell by the music choice. We're moving from kind of 70s, 80s prog rock stuff to more 90s grunge rock kind of. Well, yeah, you'll see.
Yeah. Oh, I like how Martin brings up, is this British Museum propaganda? It might be. I'll say this. I know that we've talked about Marvel here before. I'm probably more positive or more sympathetic towards the MCU than most. This is interesting because it's James Gunn's last MCU film, because now he's taking over DC. I don't know if anyone saw this news. He's just slashing and burning over there. We're not going to get a Wonder Woman 3, it looks like, which feel how you will about that, because James Gunn is like, nah, we're not going to get more Snyderverse stuff. We're not going to get more Aquaman, because Gunn is taking over at the DCEU and trying to make it good. I think why not? Right? I think that's probably
Peacemaker was good.
Peacemaker was awesome. I cannot wait for season 2 of that. Peacemaker, it's still, I'm trying to think. It's better than almost every Disney Plus MCU show. I'm not going to defend that with specifics because I'd have to think about it, but I do think that is true.
Yeah, I think it just has the benefit of allowing its protagonists to do awful things in a way some other stuff just can't. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for sure. And then since we've last been together, friends, the MCU has also announced they're cutting some things and they're going to start focusing on quality over quantity. So it seems like what some might see as the disaster letdown of phase 4 of the MCU is getting corrected, which I'm kind of excited about. So we'll see, but this is the third and final Guardians of the Galaxy film. I would say that the first Guardians film, probably a top 3 or 4 MCU film for me. I don't know if anyone else has thoughts on that. I'm curious how everyone rates the original Guardians. The second Guardians, I think, was also pretty good. Wasn't as good as the first one, but I think it was pretty good. Do you have thoughts on these movies, Henry?
I think the first Guardians is my favorite MCU movie.
Yeah,
I like the first Guardians. I like Winter Soldier. I like Black Panther.
That's a pretty good top 3.
Yeah.
And Thorn back in the chat says that Disney would never greenlight a Peacemaker-like character. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem with Disney, is that I don't know. It's like, how edgy will they let themselves get? Hold on, guys. I'm looking at a pizza that's in an oven in my house. I feel like, is that cooked all the way? Looks like you just really go for it. Sorry, everyone, but off camera, my wife is currently making a pizza for lunch in the oven, and I had to comment on it because in case anyone thinks I have a big house like Johnny Harris, no, I'm just in the living room, guys. And of course, people are bringing up the Guardians soundtrack stuff. Yeah, but it seems like James Gunn pushed Marvel as edgy as it's willing to go. I guess you could say that like Taika kind of did that, but I don't know, not really. So let's check this one out. I don't know. I did watch the Guardians holiday special the other day, and I kind of enjoyed it and how dumb it was. But yeah, let's watch this trailer.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next,
I need Vox in a second because I need to be told what I know this is. I haven't read whatever comics run this is from. Vox, explain to me in a second what Earth this is.
Still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace.
Yeah, like, who are these people? Why do they look like this? Who are they? Where are they? I'm curious. And I know that Vox knows. And yeah, that was the oven tour.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No! Ow! Hey!
Oh yeah, and someone's definitely going to die in this movie. So let's, by the end of the trailer, let's all predict who's going to die.
Don't forget.
I'm pausing again. Who can tell me the artist and title of this song? It's one of my favorite 90s alternative rock songs from a band that didn't do a lot else. Who's the first person in the chat? We're talking title of song and artist of song.
Where are we came from?
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running.
They can't kill Rocket, can they? That looked weird. Johnny got it. Johnny got it. Johnny got it.
We'll all fly away together.
I mean, that looked like Rocket dying, but it's like, if he's going to die in the movie, why would they clue that off in the trailer?
One last time.
Christopher got it too.
Into the forever. That beautiful sky.
I don't know if anyone knows plot details. It seems to me like this movie is going to be something involving all of the characters going back to like, it's the oven door is fine now. We know it's here. We're all chatting about it. It's good. But yeah, it seems like they're going to be going back and solving or fixing injustices from their past or something. So people are saying that Drax ended his contract, so he's done. We got Bradley Cooper as a guest. Nirvana, Paul, come on. The Verve is good, but that's not it. We think Peter and Drax are goners. I just wonder if anyone's ever like fully gone in this universe because Disney could just throw money at them. Oh, I guess we have 10 seconds left of this trailer, so let me.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
I feel like Drax dying in a way that has him like saving or helping others, sticking up for people that remind him of his family would make a lot of sense. So I think that would maybe be what I think would happen there. I think Quill, they can't kill Quill, but I think they're going to take him off the board, but I think they're not going to kill the character. But if you have thoughts on this, let us know. Okay, we have some options for the last bit of today's stream. I'm going to give you those options in a second. We're going to be, every time I try to ask you all what we should do, it's always then split 50-50, and it just was useless anyways. But again, thanks for being here. This is Wisecrack Live. I'm Michael with producer Henry. We do this every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Please like the stream if you haven't already. And just a reminder, these all go up on video on demand. So if you're catching this one late, if this is your first one and you just thought to yourself, this is fun, I want to hang out with Michael and Henry in the chat all the time, you can go back and watch the past episodes, except for the ones where we've watched John Oliver clips or a clip of anything owned by Warner Media, because they always kill those immediately and take them down, which is kind of annoying. As always, as well, if you want to have a cool green username, subscribe. Just subscribe. Why not? It's the holidays. John wants to watch Office Space. That's a fun idea. I do want to do some type of watch party for the patrons. And I'm going to say this to Henry now, so I follow up later. I want to do something maybe next Friday, a special patrons only stream. We want to get back to doing those more regularly, but we're going to do a patrons only stream. We used to do these a lot more when Evan was around, and I want to do one as a little holiday hangout and stuff like that. Penny, have a good time at work.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, so we're going to do something like that. Urinator, don't worry. You don't need the green name because your username is so good. It's always green. Do we want to return? Okay, here's our options, friends. Our buddy Devin at Legal Eagle did a video on the established titles thing. Do we want to return to last week's topic and see what Devin has to say about the legality of established titles. That's one option. The other option, and both of these options relate to the video coming out Monday, or do we want to check out some God's Not Dead related content, including the official trailer for God's Not Dead 4, We the People, and an announcement about God's Not Dead 5. So we're basically going Legal Eagle or God's Not Dead as our final topic of the show.
I'll start a poll.
Start a poll. You do Legal Eagle or God's Not Dead. We're going to give you a second for the poll. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to keep this one quick. So I'm not going to vote, though. I'm not voting. There's a poll as well, friends. Wow, we're going. No one's. Oh, wait. Who vote? Oh, I think I have to vote to see the results. Okay, so I'm going to go. Okay, this one's pretty clear. Here, I'm going to message Henry something right now, friends. Yeah, I'm suggesting one thing, but you can something like that. I don't know. But you know, you have autonomy here, so something ish. But I fully trust you. Okay, Henry's going to do a title change. I'm going to get started. So here's why this is a thing I want to talk about, friends. A fragile thing. Because we are putting out a video on Monday. We've talked about this again. We're doing a God's Not Dead 3 video. If you've never seen our first two God's Not Dead videos, I recommend them. God's Not Dead 1, we have a video on that. God's Not Dead 2, we have a video on that. They're very fun videos that get into philosophical questions of, you know, the relationship between faith and politics, science and reason, the role of philosophy, the relationship between philosophy and theology, stuff that I'm really interested in. And just note as well, the reason I make these videos is not to like shit on religion. I have a very big soft spot for religion and theology and things of that nature. I think that some of the weird right-wing conservative theology that undergirds this series is pretty sus. And I think that like the trailer we're about to start watching, it seems like it's starting with a Ronald Reagan clip. So that tells us a lot. It tells us a lot when they're making a movie that does that. My favorite part about doing the God's Not Dead videos has been people in the comments who are like, oh, I'm a Christian or I'm a pastor, I'm a whatever. And like, yeah, these movies suck. Because that's cool. That's what we're going for. So let's watch the trailer for God's Not Dead, We the People. I have not watched this movie yet, which is crazy, but I'm waiting to watch it because we want to get God's Not Dead 3 out and then wait a little bit and then do a video on this because I want to do the whole series. When I die, I want that to be my legacy.
Is a fragile thing.
They're just led with Reagan. They're just like telling us what they think.
And it's never more than one generation away from extinction. And those in world history who have known freedom and then lost it have never known.
So that's Pastor Dave, by the way. He's our protagonist throughout the entire series.
Known it again.
Let's face it, your God, your book, they're in the way. You feel that you're making a last-ditch stand for your faith.
It's crazy that these movies imagine a world where the most persecuted group in America is white, middle-class, evangelical Christians. It's pretty rich.
And you've chosen this as a hill that you're willing to die on.
And so Pastor Dave has gone to jail before for doing white guy Christian stuff.
Our whole faith started because one man chose a hill he was willing to die on.
I would like
we're in DC, baby.
Call this hearing of the House Subcommittee to order.
Right now, there's an effort underway to mandate universal educational guidelines.
Once we decide what a child needs to know,
it's going to be about education. Oh no, this is going to be real bad. Cass B says these movies are a great example of how the right has co-opted religion to get the evangelical vote. It 100% is that. I mean, the Reagan thing is super telling, and just the history of the right co-opting, Christianity and evangelical Christianity in general.
Yeah, even the bending and simplification of like legal procedure into like this narrative of like, oh no, universal rules for all the schools. Like that's not how education systems implement changes, but okay, movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the way they frame how education works in these is pretty rich. But I do think it's like these movies are a good window into the persecution complex of a certain type of, white American evangelical. And I'm not trying to bully or pick on anyone here because that's not a marginalized group, right?
Right. You're seeing the perspective reality of these people.
Yes, we're seeing how a group of people in this country that have lots of power, wealth, and influence perceive themselves as a marginalized or attacked group, which is a little dangerous. Yeah, and Vox brings up the quote, "Our whole faith started because one man chose a hill he was willing to die on." It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's keep going.
It becomes imperative that every child know it.
Remember the visit we got from social services the other day?
I'm here to review your homeschooling environment.
Oh my God, it's about homeschoolers being attacked. This is great. I saw a really good tweet about homeschoolers the other day. I think it was by Julia Claire. But guys, if you were homeschooled, let us know. It's a pretty crazy thing that like parents can just homeschool with like no background or experience in education.
Religion has been removed.
Because it's not homeschooling, it's just ideological formation. That's what they should call it, like home-based ideological formation.
Schools, they're teaching kids that they don't need God.
If your children do not.
What public school teaches kids they don't need God? They imagine a universe where at public schools in America, the teachers are just like, well, now that God is dead. That's not real.
Not show up at school.
And yeah, Allie Catsale says, wasn't church and state supposed to be separated? That's the other really confusing thing about these movies.
Week from Monday, you will be charged with contempt of court, meaning you will be in.
Guys, it's that lady. What's her name? She's the Fox News lady. Jeannie Pirro? Jeannie, I think that's her name. She always seems wine drunk on the news. And I can say that.
Incarcerated.
Shannon said last night she doesn't want her parents going to jail.
This is bigger than just homeschooling. I think
they're imagining a world where parents get sent to jail if they homeschool their kids and teach their kids about God. Okay, yeah, homeschoolers pass the same exams. So there you go. Yeah, Judge Janine.
We should fight this. We need to.
Just want to make sure you understand what you're fighting here.
Our district teaches a revisionist version of history.
If God is for us, who can be against us?
Not around here.
I feel like I'm going to say a dark thing. I'm going to say a thing that's dark. So just like take your headphones off for 30 seconds if you just don't want darkness in your soul. But I feel like they got to end one of these movies with an act of like holy terror or something like that. Like that's what this seems like. If I didn't know any better, I would think that Pastor Dave was going into like Senate with a suicide vest or something. I'm just going to say it because that's what this feels like.
First, just about everyone else.
The country is just now beginning to realize that unity means winning under our terms.
For 2,000 years, men have been trying to get rid of Christianity. What makes
For 2,000 years, men have been trying to get rid of Christianity. It's been one of the most dominant religions in human history. I think right now Christianity is either number one or right behind Islam. Like the Abrahamic monotheisms have had a really good run. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm sorry that it's unwatchable. I'm really sorry this is unwatchable.
You think that you can accomplish
Elusive Gringos and their dramatic music. That's fair.
But they couldn't.
They didn't have an 83% approval rating.
That's part of your plan,
I've watched the movie so much that I know this song.
Isn't it? Keep us all divided so we don't realize that you're really chipping away at our freedoms and liberties.
America is
like, what is freedom? That's the question that, yeah, and Vox is right. That's not even accurate under Christian dogma. To be clear too, I've studied theology. I know this stuff. I think it's interesting. The conception of freedom at play in these movies is wild. And in this ideology in general, like, what do they think freedom is? What do they think the point of freedom is? I'm not going to answer that.
The country so blessed to whom much is given, much will be required.
Okay, this is crazy. The guy they just showed, they killed off that guy in the last movie. So I imagine this is his twin brother that pops up.
You see those statues and
Oh, they just showed MLK. They just did
those
it.
monuments out there? They say you work for us.
You are out of order, Mr. Hill.
A government of the people, by the people, for the people.
It's clear that their budget was so low that room they're using to be like a hall of Congress or something looks pretty crappy. Anything else? But here's the thing too, right? There's literally stuff in the New Testament of the Bible where Jesus talks about not serving principalities and powers, render unto Caesar's what it says. The whole point being that the whole point of that being that religion or faith in God is meant to render nationalism superfluous because one's primary allegiance is to their faith, not to their nation. But they're just ending with a flag waving. Like, what are you doing, Christian nationalist? What are you doing? Oh boy, Hector reminds us that freedom ain't free. Freedom ain't free. Willie Wannabe said, something, Thomas Paine, something. Henry, have you ever watched one of the God's Not Dead movies?
I've seen the first one, and that's about it.
Okay, cool. Rock Flag Eagle, baby. Rock Flag Eagle. We've had a couple Always Sunny references in the chat today, which I love personally. Yeah, so this movie's already out, to be clear. I just haven't watched it yet because, let's see. Yeah, okay. So then here's the other thing I have. So I haven't watched this either. I didn't know, but I guess they've now officially announced that the fifth movie is coming. It's just wild that they keep making
the franchise
these movies. The franchise lives. Vox in the chat says Christian dogma specifically is opposed to a lot of what Christian nationalist movement stands for. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We'll just watch this little clip and see what they say about about the fifth one.
If you were a fan of the God's Not Dead series,
The audio quality, not good here. Not good, Wendy Griffith. I want to go to one of these red carpet things for Pure Flix.
good news. A fifth movie, God's Not Dead, Rise Up, is
God's Not Dead, Rise Up. That does sound like rising up a terror group.
slated for 2023.
Several stars from the popular franchise, including David White, Dean Cain,
Superman,
Isaiah Washington, and Corey Oliver, hit the red carpet in LA.
My man's wore his cowboy hat to the premiere. That's sick.
For the big announcement.
Isn't, I don't want to be wrong, but I feel like one of those actors is someone who got kicked off a show for like using homophobic slurs against a castmate. I think that's the case, but I'm not going to say which one I think it is because I don't want to slander someone if I'm wrong. But I think one of the actors they just showed got kicked off a show for doing that.
We're going to make another God's Not Dead.
What theater? Guys, look at the premiere. There's like 45 people there. Guys, that's not a lot of people. I went to a first day screening of Jackass Forever, and there was a lot more people than that there.
Producer and actor David White says the fifth installment asks the question, is God dead in politics?
What do they want?
It is.
What do they want? What do they want, guys? John wants a poll. What poll? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it is CBN News, so they aren't going to be asking the most probing questions.
Okay, yeah, Blake brought up what I thought was true. Okay, yeah, like I wish they would just like read books or like learn about their faith. I don't know, man.
What denomination are they supposed to be operating from, or what?
So they leave it vague, although in the original movie, it seems to be that they're like Methodist or Lutheran, but then what they do is very right wing. So, yeah, I want to know the numbers for these films. I'm curious how many people actually watch these.
Same. I'm curious about this compared to something that might be considered like a more traditional like Catholic movie, or like now I'm just thinking about a Christian movie, Avengers, where instead of it's Christianity versus other gods, it's just like Pentecostals duking it out with Methodists, duking it out with like Protestants.
Well, and it's just crazy that they have to. I don't know, man. It's just weird. You know what? I don't know what would be a fun version of this. I mean, they should imagine some world where America becomes like the woke commie utopia they're afraid of, and it reacts to that. But in all these movies, it's like they forget that we live in a country where, most of the courts are run by far right judges. So just like you won, you guys won. Like, congrats, you won. They already won. Well, let's see what David White has to say. Of course, his last name is White.
All of us asking, and this movie will tackle a lot of those. Tackles a lot of stuff in it, and I think I've always been amazed to see how the God's Not Dead movies, when they hit, it's at a very relevant time. Every time before one of these.
This is a weird spotty beard on that side. I wonder if that's intentional.
Movies, we pray about what it is that the Lord wants us to do with it. Where is it supposed to go?
And that's the weird logic of this strand of Christianity, that like you can do whatever you want as long as you say that the Lord made you do
Corey
it.
Oliver, who starred in the first movie, is excited about returning for number 5.
What did she do in the first one? I'm trying to remember.
Just said yes. I didn't
Oh, she was married to a guy who was really mean to her.
even ask what's
She was married to the Kevin Sorbo philosophy professor, and he treated her like shit.
the role. I mean, being Nina, but
Right.
I think it's just because the first God's Not Dead changed my life in so many ways. I've always been a believer, and I've always loved the Lord, but it was just a rough time in my life. And then, God in his infinite way shows up and shows off in a way that you can't imagine, and you get to play a leading role between Hercules and Superman.
Oh my God, between Hercules and Superman. Wow. Sorry, I'm just checking into the chat because the cherry chocolate ice cream sundaes are tasty. That's true. Whoever said that, that's just true. He looks like a washed up ex-boy band member. That's true as well. If you need to have a God's Not Dead 5, is that admission you didn't do it right in the first 4 times? Yeah. I don't know. It'd be cool if they had a character in one of these movies that was just like a chill religious person that had like read the Bible.
Oh my gosh. And so it wasn't about me. It was about God and what he can do.
Actor
Dean Cain, just a little thick king. Look at him go.
Cain of Superman fame is back, and so is his bad
Oh yeah, so Dean Cain in these plays like a liberal lawyer who hates God.
boy character.
Actually, I'm really excited to see what my character has been up to. He was up to no.
Alley Cattails, this is not a parody. This is life. This is life in America, friends. This is life in America. If you believe in America, like this.
Good in the first one, for sure. In fact, I think he's the only character who had no redeeming qualities about him whatsoever. So it will be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Isaiah Washington will also resume his role as congressman.
Yeah, I feel like this Isaiah Washington is what I'm thinking of, who I think got kicked off of the show for using slurs.
Daryl Smith.
Yeah, he's from Texas, conservative. He's bringing that energy back.
How does it feel to be a part of this franchise and now to see
Just wearing your cowboy hat to the premiere. I don't
growing
know.
even more?
I wear hats all the time, so I can't
It's
judge.
just as exciting as it felt with me working with Spike Lee.
Guys, I'm gonna rewind because I just want to note what he just said. I want us to really hear what this gentleman just said.
It's just as exciting as it felt with me working with Spike Lee.
I'm going to do that one more time. Spike Lee made a movie called Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee made Inside Man. Spike Lee made Get on the Bus. Spike Lee has made a lot of really important
Malcolm
movies.
X.
And Malcolm X. Spike Lee has made movies that have done really interesting and challenging things about politics and race in this country. You know what? I even think The Five Bloods was pretty good. So Isaiah Washington, I just want to listen to this one more time. I want to listen to him compare working on the God's Not Dead movies with working with Spike Lee.
That energy back.
How does it feel to be a part of this franchise and
How does it feel to be a part of this franchise?
now to see it growing even more?
It feels just as exciting as it felt with me working with Spike Lee.
It's exciting as it felt with me working with Spike Lee, who made Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X and a bunch of movies that are a part of like the canon of modern American cinema.
During the hype in the middle of his career.
And not just working with Spike Lee. This feels like working with Spike Lee at the middle of his
It's always
career.
exciting to work with innovators.
And if you want to catch up on the franchise, all 4 God's Not Dead movies are streaming on PureFlix. Wendy Griffith, CBS.
If you don't know what PureFlix is, it's like Netflix, but it's pure. Okay, let's see. Ooh,
Vox got budget
Vox did the numbers for us. Wow. Vox, okay, so we have God's Not Dead 1, 64 million. Second one, 24 million. Third one, 7 million. fourth, 1.7 so far. They cost too much. So really, they've gone on a downward trend right there. But the first one made a lot of money. Wow. Yeah, I would say this too. If you've never watched Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee, watch that. What a good movie. What an incredible movie. I'm trying to think what Spike Lee movies was Isaiah Washington in. I kind of want to look up his IMDb now because I need to know. Isaiah Washington, IMDb. Let's see what he has done. Yeah, PureFlix, guys. I want to get maybe they'll buy me a PureFlix account for work. Okay, he's been in some good stuff, but what was he in that Spike Lee made? I'm going back. He's been in Law and Order. Spike Lee did not make Law and Order. Wild Things 2 did not know they made a sequel.
IMDb is telling me he was in a Spike Lee movie called Girl 6, which I've never seen.
Oh, yeah. He was in Bulworth. That's a kind of fun, crazy movie. Ally McBeal. Okay. Love Jones. Classic of its era. Okay. Girl 6 is a Spike Lee movie I haven't seen. Dead Presidents, but he's uncredited in that. Clockers, not a bad movie. Oh, Crooklyn. Was Crooklyn Spike Lee? I'm gonna see real quick. Sorry that you have to hear us go through. Yeah, Spike Lee. So Crooklyn. Oh yeah, Crooklyn's actually pretty good. So he was in that one. But guys, again, why do we do this? Why do we put ourselves through this? Why do we watch these things? Why do we like the stream if we haven't already? We do all of these things because, yeah, these movies are just a really interesting look at religious ideology in America. Alley Cattail said maybe it's a different Spike Lee. Yeah, Johnny Prophet. Oh, he's in Get on the Bus as well. Wow. Oh, and Vox, you are totally right that it's the uncrowned Best Picture. It should have won Best Picture that year. All the best film critics knew that at the time. So there you go. Okay, so let's talk now. We've got a few things to wrap up before we end the stream today, guys. It's time for What Arias. What Arias is it's the point of enthusiasm. We live in a time where it's cool to not like stuff. But you know what I think is cool? I think it's cool to like stuff. So What Aria, and it's a segment invented by Dude Abides, who's out working right now. So we're sending good vibes to Dude Abides. Good vibes to Dude Abides. That's where we share the stuff that we've been enjoying, reading, watching, listening to, eating, games we're playing, anything like that. So put those in the chat right now, and let's just share some good stuff with each other, stuff we're liking. I'll share just a couple things. Started watching the show. It's on Hulu now. Fleischman is in Trouble, based on the novel of the same name, which I did not read. Pretty fun show. And I'll just say having Lizzie Kaplan and Adam Brody on a TV show is very good. Also, if you like Joanna Hogg's films, she most recently made Souvenir 1 and 2. Her newest film, just Eternal Daughter, starring Tilda Swinton, is out. And I think it's on streaming in some places. Really good. If you're a Tilda Swinton head, worth checking out. And I also liked the documentary Stutz on Netflix, the one that Jonah Hill made about his therapist. It's maybe a little self-helpy, but I found it kind of interesting. Henry, do you have any What Arias this week?
Yeah, I jumped back into Elden Ring because they added a Coliseum to it that just adds more to the game that I've already lost so much time to this year. Aside from that, though, I'm starting up a James Cameron marathon. I'm gonna try to rewatch them all before Avatar 2 next week.
Avatar 2 sounds like it's going to be really good, guys. I can't believe we haven't talked about that yet. It sounds like it's going to be really good. Alley Cattails, your ADHD is making you like way too much stuff. I get that. It's totally fine. Let's see. John used the stream to avoid calling your insurance provider back. I'm so sorry. Calling insurance people sucks. We got some Chainsaw Man. Inside Job. I still haven't watched that. I need to. Christopher's recommending the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Great trip guide. I need to check that out. Finals and grading for Vox. Good luck. Peripheral people like God of War, Ragnarok, Outer Wilds, Dark Materials. There is no God, and Mary is his mother, rediscovering religionless Christianity. That sounds cool, Blake. We got Titans, Chainsaw Man, Queen's Gambit. Wednesday. People seem to be liking Wednesday a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, New White Lotus finale this week. Oh boy.
Yes.
Andor is definitely not getting enough attention, and it's crazy. I still haven't finished it, but that's what I'm going to do over my winter holiday. That's why I'm glad we're taking some time off. Lots of good stuff. Oh, Dylan read The Stranger. That's a really cool book. Squin's hosting a karaoke party. Sad songs only, karaoke. That's amazing. More Wheelie Wannabes rediscovering beer. Have fun with that. Barbarian, great movie. Paul's watching White Lotus season 2. That's all fun stuff. So next week, I don't know what the plan is for stream next week. If you have ideas, feel free to let us know. And again, we have a Discord server. You can get on the Discord server if you join the Patreon or if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But if you subscribe to Patreon, you get the Discord server, you get extra content, and you get all the videos early with no ads. So if you're one of those people who like just hates the ads, you hate YouTube, you hate all that shit, Patreon is like, I always think of it this way. If you really like our videos and you really hate ads, you get about 8 videos a month normally. Patreon's $5 a month at the minimum level. So you're paying like 75 cents for each video. That's pretty good. I think that's fair. I think our videos are worth $0.75. I don't know. I think that's fair. So, Pat, glad you were here. So check out Patreon if you want. You can subscribe to this if you want. As always, appreciate your support. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Very fun. We really like it. And thanks for liking the stream. If you have thoughts on this stream or stuff that came up during this, you didn't get out in the chat. Once this goes VOD, you can put comments in that way. And if you are on the Patreon, if you are on Discord, jump in the Wisecrack live chat if there's stuff you want to talk about. Thanks to, and I'm forgetting, is it Zenzi? I'm forgetting who shouted it out, but someone in the chat made sure I knew about the new Harris, and I really appreciated that. So please shout out stuff in the chat. And on the Discord, if it's stuff you want to talk about, John has the ad blocker, so he's good to go. Anything else? Anything else from you, Henry, today?
Nope. I think it's been pretty well covered. Good conversation today.
Yeah, this is fun. So everyone have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Have a good weekend. Do check out the Rick and Morty video tomorrow. And please, 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 please check out the collab we did on God's Not Dead 3 with Legal Eagle on Monday. Please watch that one.
Yeah.
And after you watch it on our channel, go watch the video on his channel. But it would just mean a lot. So yes, it was Zenifi. Thank you so much for doing that. Air, if you missed the stream, you can always go back and watch it. Although you just have to fake participate in the chat then. Teenage Euthanasia is fun. So check out those videos. Go ahead, Henry.
I was just going to bring up Come Squanch with us Monday if this is the last Rick and Morty of the season.
Yes. Very good call. Last Rick and Morty of the season, I think. So come to the Squanch on Monday. And Christopher, thank you for bringing up Christmas Story 2, because I want to talk about that. Ian R., if we don't talk about Barbarian next week, we're doing a movies episode on the 22nd of December. So we'll definitely talk about it then. Let's see. Oh, yes. Allie Cattail says, can you do viewer video submissions? That would be very fun. Yes. If you're on the Discord, please, any videos you want to cover, put them on the Wisecrack live channel. If you're not on the Discord, which is totally fine, a couple options. One, just drop them in the comments for this video once it goes VOD. Or I guess what you could do is just find me. I don't want to this is going to sound like I'm doing salesmanship, but follow me on Twitter and at me and tell me what you want to watch or something like that. Even though I don't see stuff as much because Elon ruined Twitter a little bit. Okay. This has been all. If you haven't liked the stream yet, like it on the way out, because why the fuck not? And give Henry some love on the way on the chat. Producer Henry makes all this happen, and it means a lot to us. So we'll see you all on Monday on the Squanch, and next Thursday back on Wisecrack Live. Thank you so much, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, talk to you all next week. Bye.